Yo.
Yay.
Mic check 1, 2.
Mic check 3, 4.
5, 4, 6, 7.
8, 9, 10.
Boom.
So hi.
Let's run it.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to the P&T Podcast.
What?
That is P for Jordan Puente.
Yeah.
And I am T for Alex Topete. And today we're going to have a very special guest. Actually, it's a old buddy of Jordan's.
One of a great friend of mine. We go way back. All the way back to junior high. If you went to Canyon Hills Junior High, what? Coyotes? That's where we went to junior high. Went to junior high. There, was supposed to go to Ayala High School, but went to Bishop Amat. And the rest is history.
Right, went to Bishop Amat, had 1,010 receiving yards and 12 touchdowns his senior year in football, and was also an all-CIF soccer player. Went to Chaffey College, and he opted to walk on at Washington State University. He was their scout team offensive player of the year in 2016, and is now
top 3 wide receivers at University of Washington State, with his quarterback just breaking numerous records, throwing dimes left and right.
He's 5th in Pac-12 receiving yards with 908 on the season.
Give it up for Brandon Arconado. Yo, B, what is up? First off, man, it has been so long.
Oh, yeah, it's been a minute.
Been a minute, bro. First, I want to say congrats on everything you're doing. These last couple seasons, bro. I've been watching you since you were back at Chaffey. Actually, since you were back at Bishop Amat.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and I remember I hit you up when you made one of those Rogan heroes. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hit you up, and I was like, bro, this is Brandon Arconado on Rogan Heroes. I know this dude.
Yeah.
And look where you at now.
That's crazy.
For real. All right, so let's, you know what, I'm going to get some people a little background here. This is Brandon Arconado, 3rd season in, putting up staggering numbers. You know, you almost at pace for 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
You're at 908 right now, top 3 in Pac-12.
Trying to break that 1K.
Yes, sir. So, first things first, I got to give you mad credit for all the stuff that you're doing. But last game, dude, down to the wire, you get a passing interference call in the end zone that sets up your running back to score the game-winning touchdown. How did you feel? How does it feel to come out that game winning? Now you're going bowling.
Yeah, that's just, it's an amazing feeling because it was senior night. It was my last home game here at Martin Stadium. So, it was a big one coming out with a win.
I'm gonna come out with this. Your quarterback last season, obviously we all know who he is. Gardner Minshew. Yes, sir. Tell us about Gardner Minshew. Tell us something we don't know about Gardner Minshew that the public doesn't know. Like, what's one thing that Gardner does or like says that would kind of has us like shook?
I don't know. Recently, there's just been a lot of news coming out about him just because you know how he blew up.
Yeah.
But one thing that's so funny that I don't know if people know, but like he did talk about it. But like this dude would walk around and like warm up in the locker room in his jock strap, which was the funniest thing ever. And everyone was like, "What the hell is this guy doing?" But like I heard he still does it now, like at the Jaguars. But
no way. That's
just one of the funniest things ever. Like he's just a character and like just a great leader, just someone you want to be around. So this dude just does some funny stuff and it just gets us all like laughing and just gets us like bringing the juice. It's just funny. He's just a funny guy.
Is your current quarterback Anthony Gordon? Is he like that at all? Is his personality comparable?
No, he's way different. He's like he's not as loud, but he's more of a leader by showing like his actions instead of words, really. But he's been trying to step it up with being a little vocal because as a quarterback, you have to be. But he's still a great leader. He's still putting up numbers, doing great things with our offense. So
yeah,
he's just a different type of leader.
something that was really cool, like, because you guys have a lot of emotions. You guys show a lot of emotions. I know you guys got penalized for this, like towards the end of the game. I forgot who it was, but one of your players did a backflip in the center of the field.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah, he
Yeah.
didn't know that. I guess when you take a knee or you kick a field goal, it's like a stop clock. Like the clock doesn't run. We had like 2 seconds left, and so we took a knee, and he was back there in the victory formation, and just does like a roundhouse back handspring, like backflip. I don't know, but yeah. And then like the coaches were like, "What are you doing?" Because like it cost us like a penalty, like on our kickoff. So
yeah, dude,
that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was. I was watching. I was like, dude. Like I saw your coach's Mike Leach's face. He was like, "Well, I'm just trying to get out of this game and come out with a W."
Yeah, they were pissed because he like on so the next day we go over penalties, and he classifies them as like dumb or like it's a pardon if it's like an iffy call. And then so like he was just, this is straight out dumb. Like, why would you do this? And everyone's just laughing. But I mean, we were happy because we still came out with the win. So.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about you as a student athlete. Okay, because now a lot of people know that student athlete life is very exhausting. So you graduated already, so you've already done the classes and stuff. Are you still going to classes and doing other extracurricular activities, or are you just straight football?
So right now I graduated in the summer, and I started my grad school program. So I'm doing my MBA, but the program's all online, so I don't have to go to class. So I just wake up, open my computer, do some work, and then head over to the football building. So really, I don't have to step on campus for anything. So this has really been like my easiest semester because like it feels like I'm pretty much in the NFL because I just do work on my computer and not even go to class.
You can just focus on football and football solely almost.
Yep. So I mean, this has by far been my easiest semester because like my program is just one class every 7 weeks because this program's meant for like I have people in my class that like have full-time jobs and like have kids, just like a whole bunch of stuff they have to worry about and like take this class on top of everything. So like it's like meant for people to be able to manage that and like their busy life. So me, all I have to worry about right now is just football and that. So it's pretty cool right now.
All right, and your bachelor's that's in management information systems. That's correct?
No. That's what it was, and then like I switched like my sophomore year, junior year, and I graduated with a degree in finance.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Hey,
yeah, degree in finance.
Money talks, man.
Yeah.
So, when you did have those hard classes, because you said you had the easiest semester ever, when you had the hard semester, what was your schedule like?
It was rough. So, let's just start on Sundays. So Sundays, like, the day after the game, we have practice and workouts and meetings. So that's we go over game film. So my day starts at 2:00. I have like a lift, and then I have a meeting at 4, and then meetings from like 4 to 6. And then I have dinner, and then we have practice at 7:30, I think, or 8:00. So we'll have like a light practice just to get you moving around and stuff. And then Mondays, that's our days off. So that's when you just go to class and you're just free from football.
Nice.
And then Tuesdays, like, we have our lift days. So we lift on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So Tuesdays you lift before class. So it's usually, like, if you're a vet, it's usually later, like around 8:00. So there's like 3 different groups. So like the younger guys start at like 6, and then it's like 6, 7, 8. So I'll lift at 8, and then you go to class. So your classes go from like anywhere from 9:00 to 1:00, and then at 1:30, that's when lunch is over. So you eat right after class, and then you got meetings and stuff at 2, and then more meetings, and then you go to practice at 3:30.
So basically, your whole entire semester is based around class football, and you barely, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and then so we get done with practice around like 7-ish, and then you go eat. And then depending on how good of a student you are, you have like tutoring if you're a bad student. So good thing for me, like I didn't really have too much tutoring. And then if you're like a younger guy or a transfer, like it's your first year here, you have to do a mandatory study hall. And it's from like 7 to 9, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So that's rough. So some guys aren't even getting home till like 9:30.
Jesus Christ. And then you do the same thing over again the next day?
Yeah, so the only difference about Tuesday and Thursday, or Tuesday and Wednesday, is like you don't have lift on Wednesdays.
Wow.
So he could just wake up and start class like at 9. Usually my classes start at 8 or 9.
Jesus Christ. Jeez, I give you props, man.
Yeah, it's pretty rough, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's all worth it because I mean, we didn't come here to just be average. You know what I mean?
Believe it. I'm glad you told us that because not a lot of people know that that's the student athlete life. Usually we assume like they go to class, they're on scholarship. So why are we talking about student athletes like they're something else? Well, believe it or not, not a lot of people know the grind that some student athletes do until they speak out about it and be like, no, this is what we do. This is our lives from the start of fall season all the way down to until you graduate, pretty much.
Yeah, and not all student athletes are scholarship kids. Like, there's a good amount of walk-ons, and like myself, I started out as a walk-on, so it's not like you had everything paid for. It's like you're still a regular student, and you just have football on top of it. You know what I mean?
So, speaking of walk-on, so does that mean that? So how does because I'm familiar with people who are on scholarship and like what they do. So as far as a walk-on athlete like yourself, what's the difference?
So the huge difference is like you just got to worry about paying for everything else on your own, just like a regular student. So like whenever you eat or whenever you need books or like pay for classes, like fees, all kinds of stuff, you just paying like a regular student. Whereas like a scholarship kid, all that's covered.
So back when you were at Chaffey College, you had offers, scholarship offers. The two I could find were from Abilene Christian University and Southern Eastern Louisiana University. What made you choose to walk on at Washington State as opposed to go ahead and accept a scholarship at a smaller school?
So I was gonna go to Abilene Christian, but like the coach so he offered me, and then like 2 weeks later, like he just stopped like replying to me. So I was like, damn, like I guess that means like it's not there anymore. So like I was trying to get in contact with him, and he just never responded.
Wow.
And
I bet you
Southeastern Louisiana, yeah. And then like Southeastern Louisiana just like wasn't a good fit for me. Like I didn't like the coaches didn't really make me feel too comfortable about it, and like I don't know, they were just kind of pushy, and I was like, yeah, I'm not for this. And then so I was like really like tired of that junior college life and like living at home and just dealing with like, you know, family drama. Yeah. I just wanted to get out and like grow a little bit, just like live on my own. So I was like wanted to stay on the West Coast, and then really the only school that I was in contact with was Washington State. So I just told them, and like really I made my decision in like 2 weeks. Like I got in contact with them, and then like I applied, got accepted, and like within 2 weeks I was like, here. I didn't even like visit or anything. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I just took a little leap of faith, and I mean, look, it worked out.
So speaking of being in contact with them, so did you speak to Mike Leach before then, or did you meet him as you got up there?
No, I met him as I got up here. There's other coaches that coaches, all of them have different recruiting areas. Okay. And so one of the coaches was like recruiting my area. I mean, I was in contact with him in high school because coaches come and visit high schools. Yeah. But because he told me to walk on straight out of high school, and I was like, no, I want to take my chances and try to enter scholarship at junior college.
Smart.
And then that didn't end up working out, and so I just contacted him again. He said, yeah, he could walk on. So
that's wild. So that's what's up, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. So all the contact was through Twitter.
No
so that's usually that's like their big like recruiting platform.
Wow, that's crazy. So, I mean, now that I brought your coach up, your coach is known for, obviously, the air raid offense, which you are highly in. So, have you played in the air raid before you came into Washington State?
No. So, my offense in high school, it was, like, kind of a mix. Like, he wanted it to be a spread, but we also, like, here we have 0 tight ends. Like, we never use a tight end. Like, there's none on the team.
Okay.
But, like, in high school, sometimes we'd have, like, 2 tight ends. And then in junior college, we'd have 1 tight end. Or, like, either way, like, there's a tight end in the game. But here, it's like a true air raid. There's no tight end. It's all receivers.
Yeah, that explains.
So it's pretty awesome. I mean, like, if you're a receiver, why wouldn't you want to come here?
Exactly.
Ball, 70 times a game.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stats here. You literally Washington State. You guys are all up here. Yeah, at least half of your receivers are up close to 1,000 yards, and you're one of them. That's insane.
Yeah,
it's
nuts.
Washington State leads the country in passing with 456.7 yards a game on average.
Yeah,
They're fifth in total offense. They're ninth in scoring, averaging 41.5 touchdowns a game. I mean, it's ridiculous. You're a part of a really high-octane offense there.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. Like, a quarterback leads the nation by, like, 500 yards, I think, passing yards. He's almost at 5,000.
Yeah, I was about to say, because I know that this past Saturday, he broke the all-time Pac-12 passing yards, right?
Yeah, I think single season.
Yeah. All right, so again, you have a massive game coming up Friday, rivalry game, Washington, a.k.a. Apple Cup. You guys played them last year. Hey, are you guys going into this game like this is a revenge game, or are you just going in like any other game?
We try to make it just like any other game because, I mean, really it is, but a lot of people have that huge rivalry in them because, like, a lot of the kids most of the kids are from Washington, and, like, the kids that aren't from Washington, they don't really know about the rivalry too much, but, like, everyone, like, that's from Washington is really from, like, the West Coast, like, where Washington or UW is, so they, like, you either grow up a Coug fan or a Husky fan, so they all grew up Coug fans and they all just hate the Huskies. So, I mean, we're just trying to take it like as any other game.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it's pretty funny because, like, before I didn't feel the rivalry, but now that I'm, like, playing a lot, like, I feel it.
Yeah, you're on the field a lot, dude. Honestly, like, every time I look on the offense, I'm like, oh, there he is. Oh, there's Brandon. Like, I know that dude.
Funny.
I want to take you back to, remember, I think I hit you up about this. It was after the Houston game. I remember I was watching that game. You know which play I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for those of the people that are listening that don't know what me and Brandon talk about, so Brandon basically caught a ball in the center of the field, and I swear I stood up because, bro, you got hit. And then you walked off the field, and I was like, no way, this is not about to happen. And then a couple plays later, you come back in, and I think you got, like 2 touchdowns that game or something like that?
No, it was close. I got, I'm trying to think. I think I had, like, 10 catches that game for, like, 100 and something yards.
Yeah, it was 9 catches for 115 yards.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I
did take a shot, but I just got the wind knocked out. It looked worse than it felt.
Yeah,
it wasn't too bad.
That was good.
Your 2-touchdown game was actually against Oregon, where you had another 9 receptions for 130 yards there.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was a big game.
Yeah, you guys.
Yeah, we just came up short.
Yeah, I was watching the highlights of that because I think I was working that game and I was trying to watch the game. But I mean, you guys were so close, so close.
Yeah.
The thing is that a lot of people underestimate about Washington State is that you guys can score despite whatever your record is. You guys will come out and score massive amount of points. Like, you really just don't care. Like, we'll score on you despite our record.
Yeah, that's what we try to do. Just score every play or every drive.
Hey, I gotta ask you, Pullman, Washington. When you first went there, what was your first impression of Pullman?
I was like, what the hell did I get myself into?
Like, what do you mean? Like, Adrian, like, is it a small town? Like, for people that have never been up there, how can you describe Pullman?
So Pullman is, like, in the middle of nowhere. They think, like, oh, Washington, like Seattle. No, it's all the way on the other side of Washington, like far east side Washington. Like, we're, like, maybe 10 miles from the University of Idaho campus. So we're really close to them. So it's, like, middle of nowhere. It's surrounded by wheat fields. It's just, like, real, like, outdoors. Just, it's a true college town. Because I think there's, like, 32,000 people here, and I think there's like 25,000, 26,000 kids at the school.
Oh, so basically the whole community rallies around watch the Cougs.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you, I mean, it's crazy. Like, everything's Cougs here, so it's a true college town.
We're with Brandon Arconado, a Washington State wide receiver. Do you know that you're very close to breaking 2 records? 2 Pac-12. One's a Pac-12 record, and the other one is a Washington State record.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, for the Pac-12, you actually lead the Pac-12 with 6 100-yard efforts. So you've had at least 6 games with 100 yards this year. you have, for those 6 100-yard games, that's second most all time in Washington State single-season history. And you're one away from tying former Washington State wide receiver Mike Levenseller, who had 7 in 1976.
Damn, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, look at you.
Yeah, I'm trying to get up there for one more.
Hey, keep it up. So when you are not focused on football, let's say you have like a day off, what's a typical day off for Brandon Arconado?
Like during season?
Season, off season, like what? Because you say on Mondays, I believe, that you have a day off where you can just focus not entirely on football. Do you do homework? Do you watch Monday Night Football? What's an average day like for Brandon?
Well, so for like my average Monday, well, not including this week because our game's on a Friday, so everything's like pushed back. So like it's a shorter week, but like usually on a typical Monday, usually play video games. I like to go fishing out here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, usually just relax and get your body back to normal. Yeah, watch TV, watch football, just hang out. Really.
Do you watch any NFL games?
Yeah, when I can. Like, I don't really have cable, so once it's on like Amazon, so like Thursday night, I think is on Amazon Prime Video, so I'm able to watch that. And if I'm at the football building, I watch football games. But at my house, I don't because I don't have cable.
Hey, that's what's up. So Thanksgiving is tomorrow.
Yeah.
What's your plans like for Thanksgiving, Brandon?
So my plans are that's when we fly out to Seattle. So we're traveling and we stay at the hotel. So, I mean, it's not really like Thanksgiving for us. We celebrate it today as a team.
That's nice.
Because tomorrow we're traveling and just got to take care of business, you know.
Hey, business as usual, my guy. Business as usual. All right, so we're going to do one thing. Typically what we like to do on our show is do NFL pick'ems. So we're going to rally off some notable games. If you want to voice your opinions on certain type of teams, feel free. So, you ready, Alex?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So the first game we got Thursday, one of the Thanksgiving games, Buffalo versus Dallas. Obviously, we got Dallas lose to the Pats, and Buffalo is somehow rising as an underdog team. Brandon, who do you got on that one?
I got the Cowboys.
That's right.
Believe it or not, Alex over here is a Cowboys fan.
Believe it to be true. That's right.
Yeah, he's a Cowboys fan.
It's a tough loss to the Patriots, but it was pretty close.
Yeah.
That's all you can ask for with them.
And then we got New Orleans and Atlanta.
Oh, yeah, I got the Saints.
Who that nation? And then we got Sunday night. Well, actually, it's not Sunday night. Low-key should be Sunday night. San Fran, Baltimore.
Oh, that's the game of the week.
That is.
Yeah, it is. Actually, low-key might be the game of the year.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. That's a tough one. I mean, Lamar Jackson's been going off, but I don't know. The 49ers have been doing pretty good, too, because, my quarterback, he's from San Francisco, so he's a huge 49ers fan, and, like, one of our other receivers is a huge 49ers fan, too, so that's all they talk about. So I don't know. That's going to be an interesting one. I'm gonna have to take the Ravens, though.
Brandon going Ravens. Lamar Jackson Ravens. Monday Night Football. We got Minnesota, Seattle.
Yeah, I'll have to go with the Seahawks. One of my buddies is an equipment guy there. That was an equipment guy here last year. So he's always showing me picks and stuff for him at the facility. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Seahawks.
Hey, that's dope. All right. I gotta ask you one more question if you don't mind. So I don't know if I got to ask you this, but what's Mike Leach's personality like? Because we see it on TV. He's just straightforward. Basically, I call him Bill Belichick 2.0.
Yeah.
Because he says whatever is on his mind, doesn't care who hears it. He's gonna say it, get his point across, and then dip.
Yeah, so I mean, he's a really odd guy, but I mean, he does have a lot of random stuff that he says, but I mean, he's really interested in like everything. So you talk to him about something he doesn't really know, he's like a kid. He just wants to know everything about it.
Wow.
But I mean, he's a really, really interesting guy. I mean, you could ask him about anything, and he'll go like talk to you for hours about it.
Wow.
So he's a character though, but like kind of like dry, I guess, but like not. I don't know. He's really weird. It's hard to explain him, but just really interesting guy.
That's funny. That's funny.
Back in 2016, Brandon, you tweeted out that your idol is Mr. Hunter Renfrow.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Is he still your idol and who you try to pattern your game after?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, coming from a walk-on, like some guy that's not like physically has all the tangibles, but like me, I try to play my game like him. He's like really shifty. He's a slot. He's really savvy. But I mean, doing what he did in college and now in the NFL, just really showing out for like those underdogs, those guys that are like, oh, you'll never make it. But I mean, I figured like, damn, he did it, so why can't I? So yeah, really, I tried to play like him because I mean, you saw like in the Natty, he caught that winning touchdown against Alabama.
Dude, that was wild.
The dude goes off.
Dude, he went off.
And he's been balling out for the Raiders too.
Yeah, I know he just got hurt though, but
yeah, he'll come back. It's the NFL, man.
Yeah, but no, he's sweet. That's my guy.
Yeah, have you ever met him?
No, I wish.
Hey, one day though, eh?
Yeah, hopefully one day.
All right, Brandon. So you got a big game coming up. We're gonna let you go. We're gonna let you focus on your game. Man, I'm glad we got to talk, bro, because it's been years.
Really?
Yeah,
quick?
Definitely.
No, really quick, Brandon. Where can we, for listeners who want to know more about you, we have your Twitter here. It's at Brandon. Correct me if I'm saying this right. Kainalu.
Brandon Kainalu.
Kainalu. It's spelled Kainalu.
Yep.
B. I'm gonna hit you up. All right.
I really appreciate it. Thanks for letting me talk to you guys.
Yeah, no problem,
Of course,
bro.
thank you, and good luck against Washington this Friday, and bring home that Apple Cup.
Yes, sir.
That was Brandon Arconado, wide receiver from Washington State. Let's give it up to him. Woo! All right, man. So that was Brandon Arconado for you. Man, I have not spoken to that guy in years.
I could tell you guys are really, really just like reliving them glory days. I could tell I was in back in high school, I was sitting at the lunch table just listening to you guys talk.
Yeah, dude. Basically, I used to kick with that guy in junior high. Me and him went to the same junior high. Like,
Really?
me and him, we had the same group of friends. We still have the same group of friends. It's wild. So when I told some of his buddies that I got Brandon Arconado coming on, they were like, "Oh my God, for real?" I'm like, "Yeah, Brandon Arconado's coming on." They were pretty happy about that. Honestly, I wish nothing but the best for that guy. He's literally. He's making moves. A lot of people can validate that for me too. That he is making moves compared to what he did last season to this season.
I mean, when you look at his career, going from Bishop Amat High School to Chaffey, and then having to deal with the smaller schools not really like showing him. I was so surprised that those smaller schools were not showing him the attention. I mean, he's lighting it up for Washington State.
Bro, he's on pace for making 1,000 yards, and he will be the top 3 in Pac-12. He's gonna be up there with Pittman from USC, who everyone knows Pittman is an outstanding receiver, no doubt about that. But Brandon Arconado sits 3 from Washington State, Pac-12, very noticeable. Man, it makes me very happy to know that someone I once went to school with is out here putting fat numbers.
Fat numbers.
All right, so that was Brandon Arconado for you. You can definitely check him out. He plays Washington this Friday in the Apple Cup. We're going to continue our show. All right, so we know we did the pick 'em. Right. I got to ask you, man.
Okay.
What the hell happened to your Dallas Cowboys on Sunday? What's your
I have
thought?
to say that the Dallas Cowboys were issued an apology from the NFL saying that the 2 tripping penalties that occurred in their attempting to win the game drive should not have been called. And I'm going to go ahead and say, if it weren't for that, we were going to score on that drive. And at the very least, it would have been a much, much closer game.
Facts.
We might not have pulled it out at the end because that is Bill Belichick. That is Tom Brady. They're the 2 greatest combo to do it ever, coach, quarterback combo to ever do it in the history of the game.
Yeah,
but it would have been a much closer game, and I think the Cowboys would have scored a touchdown on that drive.
Yeah, believe it or not, I was actually doing homework, so I didn't get a chance to watch the entire game. But I saw the highlights, and then I saw people just outrageous about the penalty call that was called. Tripping. Did he really trip him?
Have you ever heard of that penalty called before then?
I didn't even know that was a penalty you can get called for.
I knew it could be, but not when you're blocking someone. Tripping is typically a penalty when you're like falling to the ground and you stick your leg out in an awkward way. You would try to, like as if you were trying to trip someone when they were taking a jump shot. You're sticking your leg out to under them.
We should have asked him. Low-key, I should have asked Brandon Arconado about the blocking. Because, I mean, from someone that just views football, like, we typically don't see the penalties. Like, we don't know every single penalty that gets called. Sometimes we get, like, a penalty that, like, scratches our heads, like, huh? Like, that's a penalty? Like, that tripping one is one of those, what? That's a penalty? But, anyway, so, Dallas plays Buffalo tomorrow. We heard Arco say Dallas. Obviously, you got Dallas on that one. Breaking news, but not technically breaking news, maybe like a day old news. Steelers have officially benched Mason Rudolph and putting in their Duck champion from the state of Alabama, Devlin Duck Hodges. Give it up one time for the Duck champ. I don't know how duck calls go, but man,
there was a Twitter video of it. Did you not see it?
I saw it. I saw him on the Pat McAfee show.
Yes, the Pat McAfee
show doing some duck calls.
Like, dude, I don't even know how he did it.
I don't know how, but honestly, that is amazing that there's someone in the NFL that is a duck calling champion. Who would have thought that you can get an award for being a duck calling champion?
Obviously, the Pittsburgh Steelers starting quarterback did.
Well, facts. He's from Alabama, went to Samford College. Samford, not Stanford, Sam, as in Samford.
A Samford man.
A Samford man. I had to look up where Samford is even in because I had absolutely no idea where it is. You want to know where's that?
Honestly, I've never heard, but if I had to take a guess, Samford is in Vermont.
Negative. It is in this home state of Alabama.
Oh.
Birmingham, Alabama.
Birmingham, Alabama.
Yes, sir. So that's Duck Hodges' background, in case you had absolutely no idea where Samford is.
Speaking of the Steelers,
shoot,
are you happy that Mike Tomlin made the switch?
Bro, I was doing duck calls during the Bengals game.
Why was no offense to Mason Rudolph, but why was Mason Rudolph ever ahead of
Hodges?
You
know why?
What's that?
Because Mason Rudolph has actually been there prior. Hodges is a rookie. Rudolph is in his second season now, so he backed up. He was supposed to be Ben's prodigy, the next guy. Like, we were already focused on, all right, Ben's going to retire, Mason Rudolph's taking over this team. That was the goal. Mike Tomlin spoke out yesterday saying, you know what? We're not focused on the future, we're focused on the now. Because we have a shot at going to the playoffs. So why are we going to try to stay patient with a guy that basically, we saw how he performed. You saw it.
Awful.
Horrible. So why are we going to keep being patient for this guy when we got a backup, third string, came in during the LA Chargers game, just came out of nowhere and made a name for himself. And then he came in again against the Bengals. It took him 3 plays to score a touchdown. You know how long it took Mason to score a touchdown? He didn't score one.
At all?
No. Not one. You want to know his last game that he scored a touchdown in? The LA Rams game.
Oh, wow.
I'm not playing. The last touchdown he threw was in the LA Rams game.
Wow. That's so bad.
He didn't score one against the Browns. We scored 3. Actually, I'm jumping ahead of myself real quick.
I will say this. What if because the Steelers play the Browns this weekend, correct?
Yes, sir. They play them on Sunday.
Playing on Sunday.
No, I know exactly what you're going to say.
Is Mason Rudolph maybe the MVP of the game for getting Myles Garrett suspended?
Oh, okay. I was thinking you're going to say, did they suspend him because of the risk that the Browns are going to lash out on him for getting Myles Garrett suspended? But anyways, is Mason Rudolph the MVP for getting Myles Garrett suspended? I don't know, bro. Honestly, I don't know. If he was gonna get, honestly, so many things should have happened, didn't happen, coulda, woulda, who knows? No, I don't think he's the MVP of getting him suspended.
Mm-hmm.
He just happened to be it's one of those like accidental moments that happened that you just can't say anything about. Like you have no control over that.
I see.
Yeah. But anyway, so Steelers benching Rudolph.
Did you hear what Jerry Jones has been saying all week about the Cowboys?
Yeah, basically that if
there's new reports. He was actually just on, I believe it was on Good Morning Football this morning, because he was making I was listening to Rich Eisen this morning, and Rich Eisen said that every Wednesday before Thanksgiving, Jerry Jones and his daughter go making rounds on like TV shows, doing interviews, talking about the Salvation Army and trying to get donations for the Salvation Army because they donate to the Salvation Army.
I mean, I respect that.
Right, but he was asked questions about the Dallas Cowboys and their coaching during this.
Yes. I think I heard. Okay, I think I got this report this morning. It's basically saying if Jerry Jones does not win a Super Bowl, he's gone. Right? Is that the one you're talking about?
Right. He said that he said, quote, and I can see if I can get the sound clip of it so we can play it. But he said that he is totally a Jason Garrett guy. Like Jason Garrett is his guy.
Dude,
but in this business,
he's
right?
Been there for years.
But he said following that, in this business, you can either be sixth place or you're good, but we're trying to win championships. It doesn't sound like Jason Garrett is lasting this year unless he gets gets the Cowboys to the NFC Championship.
Do you know the last time y'all advanced to the next round?
Yes, it was a couple months before I was born.
That's the last time you guys had gotten past.
The last time they were in the Super Bowl was February of 1995. I was born in June of 1995. So, Cowboys fans, I might be the reason for our drought, and I am sorry.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Alex Lopete just announced that he is the reason why the Cowboys have yet to have won a Super Bowl or a playoff game.
They haven't gone to the playoff, or they have not. They've won a playoff game in the last 24 years. They just haven't advanced. They haven't advanced past one playoff win in over 24 years.
Anyways, we're going to maneuver real quick. We're going to be going in circles on Dallas Cowboys talk. All right, so we got some notable basketball games. Basically, if you want to, this is more like a homecoming. Anthony Davis going to New Orleans tonight at 6:30. Lakers take on the Pelicans. It is a homecoming for Anthony Davis. They ask him if he's nervous about coming home. He's like, of course, but I basically played half my entire career here. Do you think he's nervous?
Definitely.
How do you think he's going to do?
Amazing. He's nervous because he wants to show New Orleans, this is what you got rid. This is what you traded away.
Yo, you know what would be...
He's going to have a revenge game.
You know what would be wild? You know how savage this would be of Anthony Davis if he dropped a 40-piece
40?
40-piece.
40 and 20.
You know how...
40, 20, and like 4 or 5.
You know how insane...
With 7
like,
blocks.
Just like
what if he
the
got
numbers, just the
What
numbers.
if he got a triple-double with blocks?
Again, you know how wild that would just be? There's no Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball's not playing. He's still out. Zion Williamson is out.
No Zion.
No Zion. Brandon Ingram's in there. Just
Josh Hart.
Josh Hart is in there.
JJ Redick.
JJ's in there. Okafor's still in there. But still, like, you got the high-powered defense and offense, LA Lakers, playing against the somewhat average New Orleans Pelicans.
I'm so proud of the Lakers.
I'm so proud of them.
So proud.
So proud. But you know who else is doing great? That we haven't talked. We kind of talked about them, but we haven't talked about them too much. The other team, the other LA team, the Clippers. Believe it or not, they're putting up some numbers. They're scary.
Last I checked, they were 4th in the standings.
Yes,
Have they moved up? Or are they still 4th?
I believe they're still 4th. They've been winning a couple games, since the duo have been able to play together, which we're finally getting to see. We saw a week full of Paul George and Kawhi Leonard.
It's pretty scary.
This is what Steve Ballmer wanted. He wanted Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, boom, bada bang, together to put up outstanding, great basketball. And lately, they have been doing that. You want to know the Clippers' last 5 games? 5-0. 5-0. Beat the Thunders, beat the Celtics, beat the Rockets, Pelicans, Dallas. 5-0. Wow, they beat Dallas last night. That's
beat Dallas.
Amazing. They play Memphis tomorrow. 5-0. They're up there with the Lakers. Lakers are 6-0, 7-0 in the last 6 games? 7 games?
I don't want to say that I have I'm still salty about this past summer and getting duped by Kawhi Leonard as an organization.
I was pissed.
But I'm looking now and I'm just like Anthony Davis and LeBron James and actually able, instead of using that third slot on Kawhi or another max player, being able to use that money on key positions and roles around them. That is such a dangerous team.
I saw somewhere, correct me if I'm wrong, but ever since Alex Caruso's been in the game, they're 15-1.
Let's give some love to KCP too. Has completely turned around his play from the beginning of the season, where people were saying he was robbing the Lakers.
Yeah, I was one of those people, so I like to publicly apologize for slandering KCP the past couple weeks. You're probably not even gonna hear this, but I like to send an apology to Keith Caldwell Pope.
We'll tweet it at him so he can see your apology.
I'll tweet at him. I like to send my apologies. Yeah, he's turned it around. Something has to tell me that LeBron James told him, hey, you better step it up, man. You looking like J.R. Smith out there.
Looking like J.R. Smith.
J.R. Smith ain't got no job, but you do. Oh. So take that opportunity. Work it. Do your thing.
I want to talk about the biggest basketball news from yesterday.
Shoot it.
Duke.
Oh, my God.
Duke ended up losing. The Duke Blue Devils ended up losing to Stephen F. Austin.
Do you have any idea?
In overtime, and Duke was number 1 in the country. I actually have the sound. Let me get the score really quick. But Duke lost. What was the score of it? It was 85-83, and they lost in the most heartbreaking way. Last second error and turnover that turned into a breakaway layup.
So basically, Stephen F. Austin is located in a very small town, Texas. I'm probably gonna mess this up, but I'm gonna give it a try. Nacogdoches.
Nacogdoches.
If I have pronounced that name wrong and you're hearing this, please tell me.
What if it's Nacogdoches?
Okay, we're just gonna go with that.
Nacogdoches.
Hey, so you got the audio for the game?
Yeah, this is the last possession. This is Duke's last possession.
Let's run it.
Loose. Kensmill's got it. They've got a timeout. They don't use it. Bang! Yes! The Lumberjacks have done it.
Dude, I still can't believe that.
It gives me goosebumps just knowing that big of a season upset just happened.
Super wild stat. I'm trying to find this. But
is it how many times a number 1 seed has been unseeded before conference play?
Yeah, I guess I saw something that the last loss that Duke has lost to a non-conference team was 19 years ago.
Yeah, they won 150 straight until last night.
Great basketball. Just try to wrap your head around 19 years of not losing to a non-conference team. 19 years. I'm 24. That's insane to be that great for 19 consecutive seasons to not lose to a non-conference team.
It's unheard of.
I've never heard of that. I didn't know that existed. Obviously because you see Duke win time after time after time. So you get so used to seeing Duke win. But my God, 19 years? You're listening to the P&T Sports Podcast. Thank you for joining us. We are discussing Duke Blue Devils loss last night to Stephen F. Austin.
Were you watching the game?
No, I wasn't. I was at work.
Neither was I.
I got the notification off Bleacher Report.
I was actually at Chino Hills City Council for another school assignment, and I got the notification while in the middle of the city council meeting, and I just stopped everything I was doing, and I had to watch the post game coverage. Had to leave city council early. I said, "Sorry, this is too important. A number 1 seed just got dethroned before conference play, not by a conference team, not in the big tournament, before conference play."
But they're still in preseason, by the way.
It's preseason?
Still preseason. You know Kentucky lost too?
Too.
They lost a couple of days ago, actually.
I did not see that, but they weren't ranked number 1, were they?
No, they were in the top 5, though.
It's not as big as a number 1.
No, not even close. Not even close. I know we touched on this last week. I'd like to correct myself a little bit. I believe last week I stated the Ohio State University player was suspended all season. I would like to correct myself and say he was only suspended for a couple games. He did play this past Saturday. That man is a freak athlete. Do you
appreciate that apology?
Yeah.
Do you want a little bit of sports history today? And it's kind of a sad sports history.
Shoot it.
12 years ago today, the great Sean Taylor died from a gunshot wound, protecting his family from armed robbers.
Yes, I remember that.
And he was only 24 at the time of his death.
He was a great athlete, great defensive player.
One of the hardest hitting, not just safeties, but defenders I've ever seen in my life.
He is wild.
Have you seen? It's one of the best clips I've ever seen, football-wise. There's a clip of him. There's in the Pro Bowl, and the team he's facing in the Pro Bowl, I believe it was the AFC, they ran a fake punt where the punter was running like a sweep. Mm-hmm. Sean Taylor obliterates that punter, dude.
Yeah.
It's the hardest hit I've ever seen a punter take.
Yeah, I remember that. That was insane. That was wild.
Yeah, as a Dallas Cowboys fan, I just gotta throw respect to Sean Taylor.
Respect to Sean Taylor.
Respect, some things are deeper and bigger than football.
Facts, hella facts. Super random. Now that we're in the topic of football somehow. Did you see Mike Vick salute Lamar Jackson for all the work that he's done?
Yes.
I guess he's like sending him some shoes.
Who do you think is better, Vick or Jackson? Like who do you think is playing better, Vick when he was in Atlanta or Jackson now?
Jackson, because Lamar Jackson, I guess, I might be wrong, but I read some reports that Mike Vick did not really watch videotapes.
Oh, that's self-admitted. He's said it multiple times in multiple
he never
interviews.
watched
He
film.
wasn't very good at watching film.
No, he has not watched film. Lamar Jackson looks like a guy that is living in the film room. Like some of the plays that he knows where the guy is going to be at all times. And even Eric Waddle mentioned this dude's unbelievable.
Right. The thing I think of is that when Michael Vick was in Atlanta, he didn't watch much film. He relied on athleticism. And
it worked. It worked a little bit.
It worked. It got him by, but he wasn't playing as well as Lamar Jackson is,
Facts.
who is watching film. When Michael Vick came back to the NFL and was reinstated back to the NFL, I believe it was in 2010, and joined the Eagles, and I believe he beat Kevin Kolb. Is that Kevin Kolb? I think is his name. That was who the Eagles starter was that he ended up usurping. Mike Vick then, I think, was watching film, but his athleticism, even though he was still fast, and he was, he's not the same young guy that he was in his early 20s. Lamar Jackson is watching film. He's
living there.
He's living at the facility, and everyone around him says he just loves football. He's a great leader. He leads, I guess, both by word and by example.
You know what's wild?
He's my MVP candidate.
You know what's wild?
Realistically,
he was passed on the draft by
31
a lot of teams. They might have magically forgot that he was a Heisman Trophy winner. Heisman Trophy winner, playing on the field. No wonder why they gave it to him.
when you
No wonder.
when you look back to his college highlights from Louisville, he was doing a lot of these same things. It just wasn't as polished.
And not a lot of people.
These same things.
Like, a lot of people saw him because he was always that dude that was just running around.
Do you remember when people at the beginning of the season were saying that he's more comparable to a running back than a quarterback?
Yeah, a lot of people said that he should be a wide receiver.
He is on a revenge tour, and I am 100% watching this revenge tour. It's one of the best ones I've ever seen. He is taking down the whole NFL.
You know what I find interesting? That I just saw this right here. So, you know who was part of the Heisman Trophy race for 2016 when Lamar Jackson won it? This is a very interesting list.
I know Baker was.
Baker Mayfield, Deshaun Watson, Westbrook, I believe he's the running back from Oklahoma.
Deshaun Watson was in it too?
Deshaun Watson, yeah. Wow. Yeah.
And Lamar beat them all for the Heisman.
Yeah. And then that's when Watson went to declare for the draft. So when Baltimore and Houston played a couple games ago, a lot of people were hyping it up like, oh my God, these two are meeting up again since college. Because those two did play against each other in college. That was a great game, by the way. That was a really great game. So yeah, props up to Lamar Jackson. We'll see where his future holds. You are listening to a P&T Podcast. This was fun. We had Brandon Arconado on earlier today. We discussed some Washington State Cougar football, Gardner Minshew. Found out what Gardner Minshew was like. I honestly was so curious.
Found out what Mike Leach was like, too.
For real. Honestly, if you are a football fan, just in general, you have to hear what Brandon Arconado was able to tell us that I personally never knew. I'm sure you never knew anything about this.
No.
Like, we got an inside scoop on what it's like to play for Washington State and what the life is like for Brandon Arconado.
Thank you again, Brandon. Good luck this Friday.
Facts.
Bring home that Apple Cup.
Good luck, homie. Good luck to you.
And for our listeners, so you can watch Brandon kick Washington's butt on Friday. The game is
Friday
at 1 p.m. And you can watch it on Fox.
Yes, sir. If you're interested, Brandon Arconado playing against Washington Friday. That was really weird the way I just said that. I was like so
It was
slow.
very spaced out.
I was
very spaced out.
I paused for 5 seconds just to think of my next word. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you for all you people that are listening. If you are curious to see who the hell we are or just want to talk to us, you can find me on Twitter, Rexy_Rex_95.
And I'm Alex_JR_Topete, Topete.
This has been fun, man. Before we end,
fun.
Thanksgiving is tomorrow. I would like to be I'm gonna say what I'm thankful for.
That reminds me. Let's do our last bit that I wanted to do before we sign off.
Do it. Let's go.
What is your Thanksgiving going to be like tomorrow?
My Thanksgiving is going to be crazy.
How's it start off?
Starts off with me waking up.
Me too.
Sorry, because you asked how was you gonna start. Oh shit, I'm gonna wake up. But nah. So basically, go to my mom's. Go to my mom's house, eat some Thanksgiving, and then I am going to my cousin's house all the way in Pico Rivera right after that, and I'm just gonna hang out. You know, just party it up, drink, eat some pie, and just have some good laughs. What about you, man? What's your Thanksgiving looking like?
I'm gonna be having dinner at my mom's.
Nice.
I'm gonna have to go visit my dad tomorrow. Also, I'll go see him out in La Mirada. So I'll probably try to drop off my Thanksgiving gift and stuff to him and his family.
Nice.
Besides that, I really am just planning on watching a lot of football.
The Cowboys, man.
Cowboys that I'm gonna be wearing. I'm sorry, Cowboy fans. I wasn't wearing it early enough this week. I did not wear my lucky shirt and my lucky shorts and my lucky shoes until the third quarter.
And maybe
if I had worn it before, we could have won, but I'm really sorry, my Dallas Cowboy fans. I'm going to watch the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. I'm going to watch them tomorrow. I'm going to watch all the other football games because I love football.
Yeah, so thank you for listening.
Can't wait to eat a bunch of food tomorrow.
Freaking same, man. I'm starving.
I'm going to starve myself till tomorrow.
I did that last year. Because I knew how much food was about to come through.
I did that too last year.
It's
then
so
I
bad
ate.
for you.
It is because then you just get this giant plate and you can't even finish it because it's all at once, and you just you overeat on the very
Dude, I know I'm gonna take a fat nap after.
Everyone does, dude.
Nap.
That turkey.
But it's hard. It's hard to do it, especially with my family. You're not napping for a damn minute, bro.
What's your favorite dish at the Thanksgiving table?
So my mom has a sweet potato pie.
Yeah.
With pecans in it.
Ooh, that sounds so good.
But I am looking forward to that tomorrow like no other. Dude, I wake up at midnight sometimes when I
eat it when there's all the Thanksgiving leftovers after.
Dude, I'm looking forward to some leftovers. I'm about to save a hell of a lot of money these next couple of days. I'm not stopping at no food place within the next coming days.
Yo, you're right. We're gonna be eating leftovers for days.
Leftovers gonna be smacking delicious. Anyways, we got a little carried away. That was episode 5. Was it episode 5? Episode 6.
I don't even know.
Yo, we've been doing this for a minute.
We should just stop numbering the episodes and go by dates now, since we're gonna be doing this every week. Jordan, you down to have a guest next week when I can get on?
Let's run it.
Let's
run it, boy.
Let's run it. We'll be announcing that at some point.
This has been the P&T Podcast. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week. Until then, happy Thanksgiving. See y'all soon.